Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are and whatever time of the day you are watching this. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your match preview for Everton against Nottingham Forest. Kickoff at 3 p.m. on Saturday. We will have the watch along starting from 2:30 p.m. on the stream. The link for it is down below, so go ahead and click the notify me button so you don't miss it. Guys, you know the drill. Before we get in, if you won't mind, just give the video a quick like, subscribe if you're new, and press the join button if you want to get all the Forest emotes that we have on this channel. You can spam them in the chat, the commons you read, the Morgan Gibbs-White new one. Hit the join button, it's literally 99p, and that and other perks will be unlocked for you, as well as the merch store as well. You can go and check that out. Let's get into the video, and I want to start by showing you guys the team we currently have, and this is still missing a few players. I just literally ran out of room. But now have a look at the depth and compare this depth to how it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I was worried about the situation of the CMs. Now you could argue I'm worried the other way, where we're absolutely stockpiled on them as well, which is just absolutely fantastic competition in places when it comes to these key matches. A lot of people have said, have we gone too far? My answer to that is no. We have a long season ahead of us. Injuries will definitely come into play. There's cup matches to be had as well. There's people who are going to come in and out of form as well. So you've got so much to consider. I think the guys at the club have done an amazing job in putting this team together. If I was to say there was still space for places, I'd probably want another centre back and maybe one backup on the left side and the right side of defence, something like that, I think. But outside of that, I can't complain with the work they've done. And obviously, I still want Aurora. I mean, I'm greedy. What can I say? But let me know, guys. Do you think there's anyone left that we need to... Is there anyone left on the market who's available? Because I'm pretty sure we'll just buy him because we buy who we want. But let's just break this down, and I'm now going to put what I think my predicted team is going to be for this Everton game. And guys, this was not easy to do. Okay, so after much deliberation, changes in and out, I've gone with this team. I hear you guys. You're saying what's changed from the West Ham game? Nothing. My thought is, why change a winning team when they perform so heroically and so well? The only one I think, well, there's a couple I think could be different to this. Based on listening to Coops' manager interview yesterday, Niakata, I'm not sure how fit he is. If he's unfit, I think Cooper will bring in Cook to replace him, which I'm okay with. And it's Mangala, the one that's just got me scratching my head a little. And does he blood in Freuler now? I think Freuler's going to be an automatic starter going ahead. But I think with this Everton game, the match will be won with the two in central midfield, Mangala and O'Brien. It's going to be a gritty, ugly battle in that middle. And whoever comes out on top of it will win the match because they will be able to release the wing backs. But for now, I'm going with this team. And I've got this tiny feeling in me that MG Dub will either make an appearance on in the second half for Lingard or may start ahead of him. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's tough. It's tough putting this together, but that's what I'm going to go with. Let's go and have a look at this team and the West Ham team on the tactical map. Back in literally half a second for you guys. Okay, guys, so let's have a quick look at this Everton lineup and how it compares to how Forest will line up as well. Everton play in a similar but not too similar style. They go for a 3-4-3 normally. And that can be good and it can be bad, and we'll talk about it in a minute and as to why. At the back, they usually start with Pickford, and at the moment, I think the back three will pick itself, for them being Cody in the middle, Holgate on the right of the centre-back, and Tarkowski on the left centre-back. They will go with the same wing-back, so this 7 and 2. Then please ignore the numbers, they don't correspond to the shirt. You've got Mikhail Lineko, I can't pronounce it. He'll be their left wing-back, and Patterson will be their right wing-back. Now, what's going to be interesting is this 6 and 8 position for them. Iwobi's been dropped into that position, but I don't know if they will go with a similar middle because Decora is injured at the moment. And I believe Dele Alli is on his way to Turkey, so I don't think he can come in either. Now, what I think might happen is with Decora injured, they still need some steel. And they've got Unana as well, who looked impressive when he came on against Villa. I think they might go with Allen here as the 6, Nana as the 9. I think they may get rid of their wide players. So last match here, they had Gray out on the left and they had McNeil on the right. Neither of which impressed. And then, of course, they had Gordon up front, who's not a striker and better off as a winger. So I think what you might see is them developing similar tactics to Forest, but instead of playing a 2 up front, what I think they'll do is they'll bring, what's his face there? Oh god, I forgot his name. I'm so tired, guys. I apologize. Iwobi in there, and then potentially play a 10 just behind the 9. So what they're going to look to do, potentially, I think, try and pack out this midfield. If needs be, Iwobi will then drop into the hole here to make it more a flat 3 than a flat 2. And you'll see Gordon probably playing in this hole here. And then I don't know what they'll do for the striker. They may bring on Rondon. That's their only fit striker currently. So that's the thing they may do. Now, if they stick to as they did, it would be a 3-4-3. And as I said, they had Gray out on the left in the last match and McNeil in the right on the right-hand side. If they do this, I'm very confident that Forest can turn them over because Gray's not a great winger, nor is McNeil, nor do they get decent overlaps coming from Patterson and him, this guy. So I think they do need a formation change. But again, that could benefit us as well because it's not a system they've embedded in and they'd understand. Now, they did switch into a back 4 in the second half against Villa. And they did improve. But did they improve because the game was gone and they just had to throw caution to the wind? Or did they improve because that formation then suited them? It's hard to tell. So it's an unknown. But what I will say is there's a couple of things they are lacking currently. Confidence and points. Points bring confidence. Forest have the 3 on the board already. So we should be playing with our chest out. Everton, if we can keep them quiet for 20 minutes, crowd at Goodison will start to get a bit edgy. That will reflect into the players, and that's where we can start to take advantage of mistakes like that. I want to mix it up a little now, put the players and where I think they will be in a rough scenario within the game. And I'm going to show you where I think the contested areas are going to be, where the duels need to be won, how Forest can win the game. I'm going to make the assumption here that Everton will start in the 3-4-3, which is the formation they played with against Villa. And if they do, straight away, the key battle to all of this, as I said at the start of the video, central midfield area. Why? Because naturally we're going to have one extra number in there against them, which will be Jesse Lingard or maybe Morgan Gibbs-White. But you can almost see here that you'll have let's just call it Allen and Iwobi in the middle here. And then there's a bit of a disconnect from them into the forward here. So the gap there between the lines, there's no one playing it. But what we would have here is Lingard being able to play into gaps. If Mangala and O'Brien can outmuscle and outpower and dominate that midfield, allowing our back 3 to hold and choke this high line, you will see, and they've done it a lot, Everton end up dropping back quite deep. And then what will happen is their backline gets stuck in and around here. These guys will start to drop in as well. But what it will allow us to do is get Tuffalo right up the pitch on the right-hand side and Nico Williams right down a little bit there. Can't quite do it. Let me bring him back a bit, but you know what I mean? And stretch the game. Now what that will do is give the likes of O'Brien and Mangala complete control in the middle of the park. And just allow them to dominate and thread the balls. That's why I'm still thinking Freuler would be perfect for this, because if we are dominating the game, You want a Freuler to come in this number 8 position here, and then start pinging those balls into channels here for Tuffalo, with Owoni then pulling one of the centre-backs out wide. That then creates the space for Lingard down the middle. This match is going to be a battle of who can win the midfield, like I said, but the winner of the midfield frees up the wing-backs. Whoever's wing-backs get forward the highest wins the match. Now, their wing-backs have not been attacking well at all. Defensively, they've been okay-ish, but in terms of driving into these positions up here, it's been few and far between from their wing-backs. So I expect, even as the away team, we probably will end up giving away most of the possession. We never really are a possession-based side. But what I expect to happen is that when we get the ball, and again, this becomes very key, I'm going to pull myself away here, is Johnson. Johnson becomes critical to this, that he can do what he did in the second half against West Ham. Let me just move the line up a bit. I can't figure out where the hell to put my goddamn head, it's so big. But if Johnson again can pull away into this channel and then start to drag one of the centre-backs, that leaves a nice little overload here with him, and then move there, Williams overlapping. We've seen what a great cross Williams has with either his right or his left foot. And what he will end up doing is either making the overlapping run or the inverted run into the middle. He's had a lot of shots on goal from this area here over the last few games. Unfortunately, most of them been on his weaker foot on his left, but he's still not scared to give it a try. So I can see that happening a lot. And then what you'll find is Jesse Lingard holds there, and then Owoni will look up to pick up any scraps. Or if it's a cross coming in from the edge of the box here, from the wide play, Owoni, as we saw against West Ham, starts to get those options. The same can be said on the other side of the pitch as well. So if it's the case that Tuffalo can get those overlapping runs in there, because O'Brien and Mangala have driven these guys back so far, what it will do again, it pulls out the right wing back towards there. Owoni gets this pocket area here to play in, forcing the defender or the number 6 to come in on him. Either way, it creates a hole because of this 3-on-2 overload we've got in the middle. With that, we can then get some quick integral passes between Mangala, into Lingard, into Nico Williams, who will invert in, like I said, or Brennan Johnson, and then shots away, and hopefully we have that happening in the game. So it's going to be a battle of the midfield. And if Forest can either dominate possession, which I don't think they'll do, but if they can hit them on the counter-attack, I'll set it up in a little counter-attack scenario now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And this will probably work well against Everton. So for me, this would be the ideal scenario Forest could find themselves in during the match, where Everton, under pressure from the crowd, under pressure of having to get forward and try and win this game, are going to find themselves high up the pitch. And if we can win the ball here, be it the defence or be it one of the CMs coming in deep, maybe tackle, probably will be O'Brien because outstanding. What you'll probably then find is Jesse. Jesse is going to be huge in this match because he's going to end up between the lines. I don't really want to see Jesse coming too deep in this match. I want him holding here in between the lines because of the overload we have in midfield naturally. Now, if that were to happen, a quick pass in, be it from the defender into the CM or straight into Lingard's feet, he's got the skill to control it, a hot ball coming through. And then what I want to see is Johnson dragging this wide. I don't mind the Hollywood ball if it's coming from the likes of Lingard, looking to penetrate it through that line there for Johnson to outpace the defence with, and he's got the pace to do it. This again will work on the same on the left-hand side, where Owoni can stretch it. But then what you will see is, as long as we transition quickly, you'll find Nico Williams right up here again, Tuffalo coming down up here again, and then Mangala just sitting himself nicely in that position as we transition through. So it's going to be a similar setup into the way we saw it break down at West Ham, but the difference being is it's not going to be 3-on-3 in the midfield. It's going to be 3-on-2 if Everton go with that 3-4-3 formation. I never like a 3-4-3 formation unless it's been drilled in, like the way Conte does at Spurs, for example. But if you are a confidence-stricken club trying to play a 3-4-3 is quite hard to do. Now, to be fair to Everton, I've watched both their first games, the first 2 games they've had, and in both of them they haven't played bad, but at the same time you would say they hadn't played good either. My worry with Everton is going to be Onana. I was impressed with him. He does look like he can be a little clumsy. He did cost them the second goal against Villa, but then he did go get the kickoff boost and was able. I mean, he literally drove all the way down to the byline, cut in to set up Digne, who does no longer play for Everton. That's a different story. So it's really important that the likes of O'Brien keeps tabs on him, and we can afford to go man to man on these two with where's Mangala gone? There, Mangala and O'Brien, really marshalling these two, because if they can lock them out, like I've said before, Lingard becomes the key to this match. And after 60, maybe 65 minutes, we'll see the introduction of Morgan Gibbs-White. On he comes. Debut goal? Who knows? But that's how I see the match working out. In my opinion, I think this is going to end up a tight, nitty-gritty match, a battle of the midfields, and whoever comes on top will release those wing-backs. But I think Forest come out on top and win this 1-0. That's my prediction for the match. Inshallah, I will be correct. Or at least the Forest win, whatever the scoreline, I will take it. Let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are. As I said, we'll be streaming this live from 2:30 tomorrow. I can't wait. Hopefully I get a bit of sleep between then and now. Trying to keep up with all the Morgan Gibbs-White and the other transfer stories. It's been a hell of a 48 hours. But guys, if that's helped you or given you a bit of insight into the game, I hope it has. Don't forget, if you would be kind enough to leave the video a quick like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to support us, 99p is what we're asking for the membership. It's as low as we can make the price. You can go and see in the comments below all the emotes that the guys are spamming who are currently members. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for Everton against Nottingham Forest from Goodison Park. The nerves are going to build, and I will see you at 2:30 p.m. Come on, you Reds!